Hey, welcome to my channel, Tools, Tips, and Tales. Tools to transform, tips to empower, and tales to inspire. I'm Kim Saff, licensed clinical social worker. I have my doctorate in transpersonal psychology. I've been doing this about 20 years, and this is me helping you transform your life. Yeah, nice. All right, so we were talking about fears in a different tape. 2 ways to handle fears. One way is to run and hide, avoid, typical way of the fear and insecure side. And then we're identifying a new way to handle fear. We can feel our fear and move forward anyway. How about that? So I can have fear, I can acknowledge it, I can put it on the table, and then what we're going to do is problem solve for it, right? We're going to identify the worst case scenario, problem solve how we would handle it from our authentic side, and then backtrack. So if I've identified the worst case scenario and how I would handle it, all my other fears around that are manageable. Yeah, they're manageable. So I wanted to give you an example, a tale, right? Talk about tales to inspire. So this client, I was working with her about making change, and she had a lot of fears about making change, and so I'm going to just give you some examples. So her fears were that she won't succeed, she won't be able to do it. She had a huge fear that her partner would not like any changes she made. If she found an assertive voice, she got more comfortable in her skin, learned to love herself, trust herself, show up differently in her body. She was not thinking that her partner would like that. And she had a big fear that the kids would be mad that she wasn't showing up in the same kind of codependent way that she used to. And she had a big fear of failure. And then the ultimate fear was that she would be abandoned if she made these changes. Big fears, right? And legitimate. Biggest fear was that she would be abandoned if she made these changes. That's what her fear side was convincing her of. Yeah, so what we did was we problem solved for it. All right, okay, say you make these changes, you start feeling good in your skin, you have an assertive voice, you know your worth, you know your value, and your partner does not like it. Yeah, okay, how are we gonna handle it? And actually where we got to with this client was she said she did not want to have non-consensual sex anymore. Yeah, in her relationship she was having sex when she didn't want to. She was not willing to do that anymore, and she used her assertive voice and let her partner know. And this was the biggest fear, right? He was not happy. He was not happy. And she ended up offering him a lot of different resources. You could go to a therapist, you could address your anger, you could work with Kim, we could unpack what's going on underneath. He was really resistant. Yeah, he did not actually jump on the change bandwagon. He did want to break up. It was her worst case scenario. It came to fruition. But here's the thing. The her of then, her authentic self was then driving much more than her fear and insecure side was. And when her authentic side was driving, she was able to be really cognizant, really knowing that that relationship didn't work for her. Remember, awareness, acceptance without judgment, with compassion and choice. Is that working for you or working you? Being in a relationship with someone that wanted her to have non-consensual sex was working her. That was not working for her. And so we identified what she wanted to do to handle that. And she ended up separating, and she got out of that relationship because he wasn't willing to make the changes and be able to support her as she made her changes. And she realized it didn't work for her. So I give you this example, not to say that relationships all break up and they don't come together, because actually they do. But I give you this example because her worst case scenario was actually the best case for her. So her fear and insecure side had her believing, worst case scenario, you'll be abandoned if you make these changes. And in reality, her authentic side chose, this relationship does not honor the me of today, and it doesn't work for me. It's working me. And she took steps to live into a life that really fulfilled her. So, what your fear and insecure side tries to convince you is the worst case scenario, might not even be. Your authentic side might say, hey, we can handle this. We got this. Yeah. All right, enjoy that. I will see you next time.